And welcome back to X-Men Legends 2. I'm going to make a quick party change here. I'm bringing Toad back in because it's been a while for him and I'm trying to keep everyone within a certain level range. So I'm going to be swapping lower level people in pretty regularly. I mean, he doesn't even have anything equipped right now. So let's fix that. I'll give him a couple of special things to help him try and catch up. But I'm also going to try and clear out some of my spare inventory. Because, well, I can explain that later. But in the process, I also accidentally sold equipment that people were wearing. And I can also show this. Some of the Danger Room discs are just for sale. At Forge/Beast's computer. I don't know why I blanked on that word, but there you are. So I'm going to unequip a couple of basic equipment items from some of the other characters, just so that I can throw them on some of the characters who are currently in the party and don't have anything, because I have this backlog of equipment that you have to be a certain level to be able to wear, and they're not anywhere near those levels yet. Now, the mission that we're going on, I lamented this before, but it does involve protection of a sort. However, it's not nearly as annoying as what you normally think of when you think protection mission, and we'll get into why as the mission develops. Angel, you were right. There's a group of soldiers attacking an atmospheric processor, and they just destroyed it.
You'll have to quickly find the other two processors in that area. If those troops bring them down, this entire section of the Savage Land is going to be an Arctic wasteland in a matter of seconds.
You heard, Angel. Let's get moving and find those processors. So, yeah. We are off and running for this one. I'm sticking with Rogue because a lot of these guys, despite what their appearance might suggest, like the Behemoth for example, they do not have, like, physical resistance. So just one of the punch ability from Rogue can take down more than half their health. Also, one of the beacons is just lying out in the open. So that's a pretty easy find without a guide. It's just like 5 feet off the beaten path. So, oh jeez, it spawned on top of the chest. That makes it more annoying to pick up. So the way this mission goes is you'll basically move from one generator to the next one. So instead of like having a bunch of generators and you're trying to protect all of them at the same time, this game is actually very kind in that the enemies will just go from one generator to another generator to another generator, and you just follow them in a sequence. And thankfully, Toad's level 11 and he leveled up pretty quickly. My goal is ultimately to have everybody at least level 15, because then I can start throwing the rare equipment drops onto all the different characters.
Y'all quit just when it was getting fun.
They're attacking the other nearby processor. Quickly, you must defend it before it's destroyed. And this is exactly what I was talking about. So we will go ahead and march on toward the next generator. You can see on the map that there's a few different like X's flashing, and that's going to represent each of the different enemies that you need to take out that's going after the generator. I remember at first I saw that and thought that each one of those was a generator. No, it's just each one of those corresponds to one of those red arrow enemies. And there are going to be times where you will get the prompt to move to the next generator, but there will still be an enemy or two sort of lingering around the generator that you're already at. They're attacking the other nearby processor. Quickly, you must defend it before it's destroyed. Yeah, it's going to be
I guess y'all
the same message from Angel over and over. You'd think they'd at least try to mix it up a little bit. Or maybe not, I don't know. But either way, yeah, and these generator/processor things aren't particularly far apart. They're basically just slightly off-screen from each other.
help sure would be appreciated.
And we are already nearly done with this portion. And this is going to be one of those things where your initial objective leads into something else, and so on. You're the last of their leaders. Your army has no choice but to turn back and leave Avalon alone.
Yet, this is impossible. Mikhail assured me you would never get this far.
Who's Mikhail?
Mikhail Rasputin is our leader. You would do well to fear him, for he is a horseman of apocalypse.
But he's Colossus's older brother.
Duh, and he will be enraged when he hears you were the reason for our failure. If you value your lives, you will flee now.
Why were you going to attack Avalon?
Mikhail knew you would be coming. He wanted to force you to leave the savage land so you would not disrupt his search for the Four.
What do you mean, the Four?
All Mikhail told us was that Apocalypse is searching for 4 mutants with a particular DNA.
Where can we find Beast?
I will tell you nothing. Mikhail would kill me.
Okay, if that's how you want it. Professor Xavier, would you rip Beast's location from this man's mind?
Very well, but does he understand the process is extremely painful, and it could damage his long-term memory?
No, wait. I will tell you everything.
So talk. Where's Beast?
He is being held prisoner in an ancient underground New Valley temple. But it cannot be reached on foot, and you cannot use your X-jet. We have hidden surface-to-air rocket launchers everywhere.
Thanks. That's all we need to know. And thank you for your help, Professor Xavier.
Anytime. And sir, I do hope you realize I was only bluffing. I would never have attempted to read your mind without your consent.
Thanks. You were a lot of help.
You will not be so smug when you meet Mikhail. He will destroy you.
Well, I might actually be that smug. It depends on what level my characters are at the time. So, that is going to lead into our next mission. Oh, by the way, there's a health station here for tech. It's kind of counterintuitive, but I'm going to have Scarlet Witch get that. Because I've had instances where she tends to get really low on health, and, you know. So now, it leads into us going toward this temple to try and see if we can find and free Beast. And again, we have this particular enemy type, which is the bane of my existence, which is dude with gun who backs up repeatedly. But from now on, when I encounter them, I try to do this thing where I, almost like a velociraptor in Jurassic Park, I kind of like try to get around to one side and then cause them to basically back themselves into a wall or into a corner. Or potentially get all the way around them and then back them into my teammates. Now, if you were paying attention to the map, there was a point where the path splits, and now I'm at this point where there are 2 tunnel entrances. Instead of going through those, I'm actually going to backtrack to where the path branched off, and now I'm going to take the left path. And there's a very specific reason for this. For one thing, over here, you will find the comic book drop. That is not the specific reason I'm going back through this path. There's actually a scripted encounter that you can end up completely missing depending on how you go through this level. So I'm going to take a bit of an unusual path just to try and make sure that that happens.
Keep back. This one's
And that is going to involve me,
I need help.
just as you normally would, going through, clearing out some enemies. And then,
Just when it
once
was
I
fun.
get to here, there's this point where there's a down tree. You can either go around this, fly over it, whatever. But I'm going to start going back, because there's another point where the path branches off and it kind of leads backwards and into the fog of war, I guess you'd call it. But this is going to lead to a tunnel entrance. And we're going to go into this cave. And there's going to be more enemies inside. I know, really surprising given how this game goes.
I'd have thought you'd be more trouble.
But there's going to be another thing in here, which you can see it already. And it is yet another beacon.
Now get me some
So once these enemies are cleared out, we'll go back, pick this up. We're already at 3 out of 4. And we have not been in this act for very long. So just going to do a quick level up, because I have a really bad habit of just not doing level ups for an absurdly long time. And yeah, I just don't want to end up at the point where I'm like 2 levels behind on everybody. So going to give some critical strikes to Toad to try and help his damage output a little bit. Also put points into his tongue attack, because that can end up being useful as it has the ability to stun the opponent, and the more you level it up, the longer the stun lasts. Now we're in the tunnel that I was initially avoiding before from when the path split.
Thomas right. There's a group of invaders coming down through the south passage. Get ready, men.
And so this is going to eventually lead to a dead end. So we'll have to backtrack once we're through all of this. But for now, just some basic enemy encounters at first. And then once we come through the other side of this tunnel... Oh, well that's no good. Now we gotta make good job, man, and I've finished all my orders to, man. Sorry, that's what happens when you accidentally skip through the dialogue too fast. So there are these power sappers that you spawn next to 3 of them, and they're taking pot shots at you. By the way, this one has enhanced damage, just to make it even more fun. But if you already have a character who can do a shit ton of physical damage, like even without using powers, you can break those generators or power sappers, but I'm getting my terms like generator, processor, power sapper, all completely mixed up. Point is, if you have someone who can do a lot of damage to those things without using any of your superpowers, then that's not a huge deal. Also, it is possible to go through that path through the other side, and you will not end up getting caught in that, which is good from a gameplay standpoint because it makes your life easier. But if you want to see like all the different particular encounters through each playthrough, then you end up having to do that. And we're actually going to use this extraction point to stop. I know it's kind of an awkward place to stop, but next time on X-Men Legends 2, we get to Pterodactyl.